Socialists push new migrant taxes for New Yorkers. Now, you can't really put nothing past these leftist socialists. I mean, what you expect them to tax everything. They want 100% of your income, no matter if it's a dollar. They want it, and instead of telling President Biden to close them borders, they rather tax you to pay for the migrant crisis. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store. Also, check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for news as well. All right, let's talk about this news. New Yorkers are expressing their frustration and discontent regarding the illegal crisis in the state. Due to Joe Biden's flawed border policy, more than 7 million undocumented immigrants have crossed the U.S. border. If you inquire with Democrat Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez about the atmosphere in the city, you'll find that the squad member faced angry New Yorkers during her visit to NYC to address the crisis. One man in the crowd shouted, quote, close the border, respect the Constitution, AOC. I am your constituent. Doesn't he sound like a MAGA guy, right? In New York City, one of the most liberal areas in the country. Now, socialist state legislators are seeking to implement additional tax hikes to cover the growing expenses associated with undocumented immigrants. According to two state senators who spoke with the New York Post, the possibility of new taxes is being considered. State Senator Julia Salazar, a Democrat from Brooklyn, explained, quote, we should raise taxes because it's a just economy policy to offset all the costs necessary for our state to function. Again, instead of telling Biden to close the border, you want to tax the American people. She added, quote, even without the increased influx of asylum seekers in our city and state, it is now more crucial than ever for the wealthy to contribute their fair share of taxes. It's the same old mantra. And Salazar pointed out that in 2021, the state passed a series of tax increases on high-income earners, which she regretted were set to expire instead of becoming permanent. She remarked, quote, we are still working on implementing tax hikes for the wealthy through the same revenue-raising bills we have been advocating for years. New York Mayor Eric Adams has mandated that all city agencies reduce their budget by 5%, with the possibility of an increase up to 15% to address the overwhelming expenses associated with caring for undocumented immigrants, which Adams estimate at $14 billion over the next 3 years. Brian Romero, the chief of staff to Socialist Queens Assemblywoman Jessica González-Rojas, responded to the budget cuts by stating, quote, it's important to remember that this is a conscious choice. We are cutting services for New Yorkers when we have the option to tax the rich. Migrants should not be blamed for lack of leadership. I do agree with that. There is a lack of leadership, but at the same time, the leadership is the problem. The leadership is the ones that's allowing them to come into the country illegal and do nothing about it. It's the plan. It's Biden's plan. He's pretending like the border's not wide open when he know it is. It's part of the open border society. It's part of the George Soros plan to flood this country with illegal immigrants for cheap labor and to get their votes. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.